So we are discussing about regularization, right? So regularization is required to prevent overfitting or underfitting. We have seen what is the overfitting and what is the underfitting. Overfitting is that you give enough of training, but ultimately at the end of the day, it cannot make. What are you doing? So we are giving overfitting, overtraining to the model. So when you make slight change on the testing data, it will not be able to identify. That is where it is going overfitting. Like it may not be necessary to give so much of training. It is going to identify a vehicle of a particular class alone. Maybe it belongs to car alone. Okay, but I am giving a training of the entire class of vehicles. Maybe lorries, buses. Like so many classes of vehicles I am giving a training, but finally I am going to identify only about the car. Only about the car. So here it is overtrained, but it will not be able to give the accuracy. It will not be able to identify it is a car. Again, in the car, which type of car, which model car it is, it will not be able to say because the specific training is not given, but it is trained over. So that we call it as overfitting. Similarly, underfitting, the required training is not given, due to which it will not be able to recognize the item which needs to be tested. So to avoid both of them, because we may not be knowing by giving the training, so we must know whether the training is sufficient for that or insufficient or it is overburdened for it. That needs to be identified and then that needs to be regularized. Before you could give the training, it can be prevented, that is one stage, or after giving the training that can be controlled. So the controlling part is taken care by regularization. So regularization is a technique which is used to prevent underfitting or overfitting. In other words, we can say balancing the model from the loss from both extreme trainings. Okay, fine. So we discussed even various types of regularization in which L1 and L2 regularizations are very basic and important regularizations. L1 regularization, L2 regularizations, which functions mathematically. So we do use very slight difference only between both of them. On both the methods, we will be calculating the mean value. What we are doing with the mean value matters the difference here. Okay. And here the formula. When you consider the L1 regularization, please remember there are various techniques to balance your overfitting and underfitting. So L1 and L2 are the basic regularizations which are used in machine learning also. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning which will be of deep network where you will be including lot of hidden layers. You will be including lot of hidden layers to solve a complex problem. Okay? Right. So since L1 and L2 are used in machine learning, the same thing we are taking even for the deep learning. So it will be able to take care of the problems which can be under its control. Okay? So which can be solved by this, we will be using it. If not, only we will go in changing the model or we will be early stopping process we will be applying or we will be dropping out some nodes in the neural network. All those things are applied purely for deep neural network and these techniques are adopted from the machine learning. So what we are doing in L1. So L1 is about, we will be adding in L1, we will be adding absolute value of the magnitude. Absolute value of the magnitude, absolute value of the magnitude to the coefficients, So in both the methods, what we are doing, we will be adding some penalty to the loss function. We find out the, so always you should remember the loss function. So any neural network will be producing an output. Okay, and the neural network is expected to produce some output. So you find the difference between the expected output and the predicted output, which we call it as a loss. Expected will be So in L1 regularization, we will be adding absolute value. Absolute is represented like this. A just have used adding absolute value of the magnitude to the coefficients. You take it as a linear function, linear or non-linear, whatever it may be. You may apply sigmoid activation function or radial activation function. If you are applying sigmoid, that is on the linear expression. If you are applying radial, it will be for the non-linear expressions, non-linear functions. Okay. So whatever it may be the function we are taking, to the coefficient we will be adding the magnitude as what? As a penalty. As a penalty to the loss function. This is what is about L1. So now the formula for the same sum of I is equal to 1 to n yi minus sum of j is equal to 1 to p xij beta j square plus lambda. This portion only we will be adding here. Lambda j is equal to 1 to p absolute p j. A very vast part in this, but for you, we are not doing any research or PhD. You only need to know what is happening over here. Okay, so this part is nothing but you are producing the last function and finding out what to be added, what needs to be done. That's it. And here, this is the value is added as penalty to the last function to regularize the model. As simple as that. Okay. So we will be finding out whether it is a overfitting or underfitting irrespective of that. That's why we are using square over here. This is the expected one and this is representation is different, but concept is same. Okay, so your expected output and this is your predicted output. This is nothing but your last function. You are taking a square of that because if it is negative, it has to be converted as a positive. So you take the square value of that. We will be adding the absolute value. We will be adding the absolute. So whatever the value you compute, how we are going to compute is a vast part. So let us not go into that. Okay. So we calculate some value. We will be adding that value to this as a penalty in L1 regularization. L1 regularization. Okay. So in case of L2 regularization, same will be there, only at the end it will be changed. Okay. So make a note of it. So here squared magnitude will be added to the coefficient as a penalty to the last function. Squared magnitude will be added to the coefficient as the penalty to the last function. So how it will be? As I mentioned, there is no change over here. So I is equal to 1 to n, that is the number of nodes what you are having in your neural network, which will be producing output, and you have some expectation. The produced output is represented like this because we do make a computation over there. E x I j plus lambda sum of j is equal to 1 to beta j of square. As simple as that. So this is only the difference between both of them. In the next class L1, L2 early stopping and then dropout. Okay. So I just give you intro about batch normalization for deep learning. So this is one method where we are preventing the overfitting and underfitting. There is another technique again to normalize the model. So when we talk about normalization, here are two very important elements plays very important role: mean and standard deviation. Standard deviation. Mean and standard deviation. These two things are mainly used to normalize our network. Okay. Take down what is batch normalization. Batch normalization is the technique. Batch normalization is a technique for training very deep neural network. For training very deep neural network, that standardizes the inputs. Take down and give you explanation where the changes will be taken place with respect to batch normalization. That standardizes the inputs to a layer for which mini batch to a layer for each mini batch. This has the effect of stabilizing the learning process, and dramatically reducing the number of training epochs are required to train deep network. Written? Yes. So in the regularization, what we are doing, we did not do anything with the input, correct? So we did not touch on any input at all. So we were only calculating some value and making some changes on the nodes. We were doing something on the hidden layers and all other layers only. We did not make any change on the input. So there we did not do anything with the training of data set. How many data set must be given for the training? How much training must be given for the network was not disturbed. But here in the batch normalization, we are going to see what amount of training must be given. So the amount of training is decided or determined by the number of data set. Correct? So how many data set you are showing in your network? See, for example, finally you want to recognize a particular car. For that, car images would be given n number of car images with all dimensions or various facing front, back, everywhere. Okay, with the different augmentation, we will be training our network with the car images. So later, wherever the car on whichever direction the car is located, front face or back face or sidewise or whatever it may be, my network will be able to recognize the car. You get my point? Yes. So number of training, how many data you are giving for your network, that is nothing but the number of training. So now we are going to either increase or decrease the number of training. How do I increase or decrease the number of training? By increasing or decreasing the number of data set, as simple as that. We are going to stabilize the training. So how do I do the stabilization? So instead of taking the entire layer, because I am going to apply this layer by layer. Okay. So rather than taking the entire layer, a portion of the layer, a batch of the layer will be considered, and that alone will be stabilized. That will have a great impact Get my point? So other things are completely you train it and then you find out which needs to be reduced or where it has to stop, which node should be dropped out. But here in the normalization, batch by batch, I will be stabilizing the network so that my training will be stabilized. It will not go neither overfitting nor underfitting. See, after giving 100 or thousands of training, finding out it is overfitting and then making a change on it is one kind of approach. The other approach is that before I train itself, I will decide how much training must be given to my network. That is possible with the batch normalization approach, batch normalization technique. Okay. So here the